Hi everyone. First and foremost, our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go out to everybody affected by the devastation, the horrific fires of Los Angeles County. We know that it doesn't only affect those that have lost their homes, their personal property, but it affects people all across the country that have friends, that have family, they have loved ones that are concerned about what comes next from these horrible fires. And our hearts go out to everybody. Anyone that's impacted, we're sending you our good thoughts and our prayers. And I wanted to come on and I wanted to film a video because in catastrophes like this, especially when it comes to loss of homes, personal property, automobiles, high valued items, people don't know what to do. And I think we're seeing that now. I've gotten calls from people that aren't clients of our agency, but that just don't know what to do. They want help. They want to know if they're doing the right thing. So I thought I'd just give a quick video here, some tips to people that may be dealing with this situation about some steps you can take to get all your information in order and to file a claim if you lost your home, if you lost your auto, or whatever it may be. Now, we hope everybody's safe. We know that there have been lives lost in these fires, and our prayers go out and our sympathies to everyone that may be infected by losing a loved one. If you've lost your home, thousands of homes have been destroyed. Here's some steps that you can take in preparation to filing your claims. So first and foremost, it's important that you have all of your information, your policy number, your carrier information, your policy details. If you're having problems accessing where this information may be stored because you can't get back to your home, hopefully you have it in a file somewhere on the cloud, or stored in a file somewhere on a computer that you can access. But if not, think about calling your insurance professional, whether it's an independent agency or if you're dealing with a captive agent. Give them a call. Insurance agents, they have all this information on file for you. This is one of the benefits of having an agent, is that all this information is stored and they know exactly how to direct you. They can give you all your info. The unfortunate truth in places like California is that a lot of agents here, they know how to handle these types of situations because they've been through it before. These fires, these happen often here, and not only agents but insurance companies, claims professionals, they're accustomed to this type of thing, so they'll know how to direct you. So that's step one. If you can ask your agent, or if you personally can create a file with all the information that you have about your property, so that when you turn it over to the claims adjuster or the insurance company, everything's there for them. That will make it easier for you, easier for them. A lot of that has to do with documentation. If you have video of your home before the incident, if you have pictures before the incident, if you have any documentation, you don't need to have it, but it helps. And especially it helps you because if you lost your home in a total loss in a fire, it's hard to remember what you had in the property. So it's hard to tell the insurance company what you're claiming, what your loss is. But if you can go back and look at pictures, look at video, and remember what you had there, it will make it a lot more helpful for you, for the insurance company, to deal with that claim. So number two is keep any receipts or any documentation that you have for your expenses now that you have to evacuate or you've had to leave your home. So if you're purchasing food, clothes, additional items, your cost of living to stay in a place, if you've rented a hotel or you're living in an Airbnb, whatever it may be, keep all those receipts because those expenses are reimbursable from the insurance company. One thing that I do think, I know nobody wants to look at their insurance policy after they've lost their house, but if you have a chance, or you might know it already, but to understand your coverage, your limits, what type of expenses you can get reimbursed or what type of coverage is on the policy that you can claim from the carrier, I think that will be helpful for you as you try to navigate through the loss of your home or whatever it may be. So keep all that information. Number three is if you've been evacuated, make sure that you have proper documentation that you've been ordered to evacuate, whether it be a text message or an email. So make sure you keep that documentation. Make sure that eventually there's going to be a case where the fire department, when you're able to access back to your area that you've been evacuated or most likely still shut down, but you're going to have a fire department report for the loss or the damage sustained to your property. So make sure you have that information, keep it handy, retain it. It could help with some of the expenses, the timeliness of the reimbursement expenses. Now, insurance law in California, if you've had a total loss to your home, requires that insurance companies pay you in advance for 4 months of additional living expenses. So that's something to keep in mind. That's important. Carriers are going to do that for you. They know that. That's part of their process. But just for you to know, that could be something that helps ease your mind as you move into the following weeks or months. Now, insurance companies have triage. They're going to start deploying mobile units in areas affected by these horrific fires. Carriers did that in previous situations when there's mass devastation of whole areas, whole neighborhoods. Look up online, check your carrier's website, regardless of who it is. They check to see if they're going to have units in the area that you can go speak to people. They have adjusters there. They have claims personnel there that can help you. They can even issue payment from their mobile units. So keep that in mind. That could be something that's very helpful for you as you move into the following days and months and weeks. FEMA. So there's been information released that the federal government's going to help with some of the costs of, I think one of the big ones is the debris removal, but other costs too, they've agreed to help or or they've stated that they will. Make sure you get your FEMA application in sooner than later. The sooner the better. FEMA is going to be inundated with applications, so make sure you submit yours. But the same goes for your insurance claim. I know that this could be something that's not on your mind right away if you've been affected. It's important because you have to remember that insurance companies, they only have so much personnel, so they're going to get an influx of calls, claims online. You want to get your information into them as soon as possible. Not to say that you're getting ahead of somebody else, because this is a community type of situation. And, the support that I've seen from not just people in the Southern California area, but in all of California and the whole country has been awesome. That's what it's all about. But get your information in sooner than later. You don't want to be way behind and then it's going to take longer, because these types of claims are going to take long. Just to keep in mind, to be patient with the insurance company. Claims adjusters are going to be doing all they can, but there's only so much help that they can provide. So get your claim in, get your FEMA application in, get your information submitted. It's really, really important. There's been a lot of discussion, news, information about the California Fair Plan. Now, have insurance companies non-renewed many of the properties in these affected areas over the last 3 to 4 years? Yes, that's a known fact. That's been discussed widely in California from insurance professionals alike about the implications of these carriers leaving the state and the situation where we come up against where people have been forced to use the California Fair Plan policy, which historically it's been about 1% of properties have been insured by the Fair Plan. Now they're carrying about $300 billion of exposure in the state of California. The Fair Plan was meant to be the policy of last resort. Unfortunately, they've become the only policy that some people have been able to secure. And that's going to be a problem because the Fair Plan doesn't have $300 billion in cash. In fact, estimates for this area, the devastation in the fire region here in Los Angeles has been around $50 billion. So what happens if so many people have the Fair Plan? There's a process to that. The process is that if the Fair Plan becomes insolvent, which is a very good case that it could be in this situation, the Fair Plan will go back and assess insurance companies to pay to make sure that the insureds of the Fair Plan are covered up to their policy limits by assessing carriers based on their percentage of market share in the state of California. Well, what happens after the fact, once people are paid to their policy limits and now the Fair Plan is no longer solvent? Well, they can assess California homeowners as part of the structure of the Fair Plan. So there's a good chance that could happen. I think that everybody needs to be mindful of that. But for people that are covered by the Fair Plan and are affected by this fire, ask your insurance professional, look in your documentation to see any additional coverage you may have above and beyond the Fair Plan, whether it's a difference in conditions policy. Many RAP policies or difference in condition policies that are issued on homeowners policies in California are going to exclude fire. But do you have excess fire coverage? Do you have coverage that can help you replace the rebuild or the loss of your home above the limits provided by the Fair Plan? We know that there's going to be limit issues from these claims. So I just want you to be mindful. Check all of your information. What policies do you have? If it's the Fair Plan, what else do you have on top of that? Do you have other policies to protect some of your valuables in the home? Things like that are going to be really important. So, by the way, if you've been approached by a public claims adjuster, I'm not going to say whether yes or no on that or what our advice is on that, but I think doing your research is important. What could that adjuster help you with? What is the cost to hire an adjuster? How could that affect you on a claim payout or a claim settlement? Some people are just simply too overwhelmed to go through this type of situation. So having a public adjuster who knows insurance, who understands how to go through these situations could be helpful based on, of course, your understanding of the cost to hire one. Again, reach out to your insurance professional, look at your information, check resources online. There's going to be a lot of resources. There's going to be a lot of area resources coming your way to help. I would suggest that you utilize all of the resources that are available to you to get through this horrific time. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope it puts some of you at ease. If you've been along this path, if you've started, maybe to know that you're along the right path. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, we are here to help, regardless of whether you're a client of our agency or not. If you're another agency owner, we have a lot of friends in the business that we're here to support. If you need our help with anything, there's nothing that we won't do for you. So you can reach out to me directly. My number is 858-384-1507 or email mike@foagency.com. Comment on this video here and I will respond. All the best to everyone out there and we hope everyone's safe. Best of luck as you move forward.